I'm Loving It and King's Restaurant, serving your local breakfast, lunch, and dinner favorites for over 45 years.
Coming up on Prime Time, a motorcycle crash in Tumon early this morning leaves one man dead, marking Guam's fourth traffic-related fatality of the year. Plus, a 60-year-old woman has become the island's 134th fatality due to COVID-19. And a former Department of Labor employee is charged with KUAM and FPOC fraud.
Hafday, good evening. I'm Adriana Cotero. Early this morning, the island recorded its fourth traffic-related fatality of the year. An Air Force airman is dead after a motorcycle crash occurred along Santos Hill in Tumon. According to Guam Police Department spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapao, at this rate, we will be experiencing nearly 2 roadway-related deaths per month.
If we continue this track, we are going to see a rise in fatalities.
Before sunrise, Guam Police Department officers and Guam fire medics responded to a single motorcycle crash in Tumon at around 12:45 a.m. According to GPD spokesperson Sergeant Paul Tapao, preliminary reports suggest that a 2011 Harley-Davidson FLTRX was traveling east in the inner lane by Casa de Isa when the male driver lost control of the motorcycle and collided with the raised concrete median, causing the motorcycle to run off the roadway.
The initial contact with the motorcycle was the raised concrete median. Now, whether you're traversing up or down when, in a vehicle, when you hit something that high, it's going to cause your vehicle or whatever you're operating to redirect itself if you're not able to maintain control.
The driver was an Anderson Air Force Base airman. He was immediately transported to Guam Regional Medical City where he was pronounced deceased. Following Department of Defense policy, the name is being withheld until 24 hours after notifying the next of kin. 36th Wing Commander Brigadier General Jeremy Sloan stated in a release, quote, "We are a close-knit family, and when a tragedy like this occurs, every member of Team Anderson feels it. We express our deepest sympathies to the family and friends of the deceased airmen. Our thoughts and prayers are with them, and we are providing every comfort and assistance that we can," unquote. GPD's Highway Patrol Division has been activated. Their investigations are ongoing as they have yet to determine if speed, alcohol, or drugs were factors in the crash. And the work for traffic investigators piles on, as this is the island's fourth fatality of the year.
We've encountered some challenges with identifying and contacting the next of kin, which I believe the first 2 crashes. So I met with our traffic investigators yesterday, so I should be getting a summary of the fatals and of course identifying the victims of the crash, the 4 crashes that occurred within this year. But coming with the findings, it's really they've yet to conclude the investigation portions.
There have been no arrests made in any of the 4 deaths, and all cases remain open. Sergeant Tapao wants to remind the community to remain vigilant, adhere to traffic laws, especially as we continue to see the island reopening.
The best way, again, in which we can maintain or control the track from an uptick model in fatalities in the roadway is really behavior modifiers from every motorist that should choose, whether to consume alcohol, to just really designate a responsible sober driver. Motorists who are accustomed to texting and driving or to doing other things within their vehicle to really refrain from that and being more attentive on the roadways. And of course, adhering to the posted speed limits.
A former Guam Department of Labor employee has been charged in the District Court of Guam with fraud. It's a federal program stood up to help the thousands of island residents who were left unemployed, furloughed, and who suffered reduced hours as a result of the COVID pandemic. But for Jerome Michael Cruz, he didn't fit into any of those categories. Instead, he was a full-time employee at the Guam Department of Labor as a customer service representative. Cruz in his position had access to GDOL's computer systems to make, approve, and modify pandemic unemployment assistance and federal pandemic unemployment compensation claims. According to court documents in September of last year, Cruz, while fully employed at GDOL, submitted an application for FPOC and PUA benefits. He lied that he was unemployed and was eligible for benefits under the federal programs. He was able to receive almost $11,000 in benefits he was not entitled to. The following month, in October 2020, Cruz was transferred within GDOL. Court documents state that he lost access to the PUA and FPUC's computer system, but then used the login credentials of another GDOL employee to access the online system. Cruz modified an existing PUA claim for another person to change the payment method from paper check to direct deposit, to route the benefits to a bank account he controlled. As a result, he was able to obtain a little over $2,400 in fraudulent benefits. In total, Cruz was able to obtain $13,350 in fraudulent benefits, but according to court documents, he tried to obtain an additional $80,000. Guam Department of Labor Director David De La Sola says he was fully aware of the investigation, but it was his staff that informed and forwarded the case about Cruz to the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Quote, "I thank the entire efforts of my staff that tirelessly put all this information together so the feds can move on this," unquote, said De La Sola. The director adds that his agency has always wanted to show that they are doing their due diligence to combat fraud. Quote, "I hope this will be a reminder to the island that this is a federal funds and that this is not to be taken lightly," unquote. De La Sola thanked the FBI, the Attorney General's Office, and USDOL's Office of Inspector General for their collaboration and ongoing efforts to catch and crack down on fraud. Cruz has entered into a plea agreement and is scheduled to appear before U.S. Magistrates Judge Michael Bordalio on Thursday. He has agreed to plead guilty to charges of federal program theft and accessing protected computer in furtherance of fraud. The island records its 134th COVID-19 related fatality. The patient, a 60-year-old female with underlying health conditions, passed away at the Guam Memorial Hospital on March 13th. The patient was admitted to GMH on January 18th and was a known positive case. In COVID vaccination news, the UOG Fieldhouse Clinic has resumed the administering of both the first and second dose of the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines. Tyler Matanani has the latest update.
Whether it's your first or second COVID-19 vaccination shot, residents are encouraged to take advantage of the clinic being held at the UOG Cowell Fieldhouse up until Saturday from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Eligible residents can schedule their appointments online at tinyurl.com/vaccinateguam. Walk-ins are limited to 15 per hour. The clinic is part of the Guam National Guard's vaccination efforts to administer COVID vaccines to 80% of the island's population on or before July 21st, Liberation Day. In addition, the Vaccine and Antiviral Prioritization Policy Committee, or the VAPPC, has expanded COVID-19 vaccine eligibility to 40 years and older. The expansion will be effective beginning Thursday, March 18. COVID-19 community testing resumes on Wednesday and Friday at the Old Carnival Grounds in Tidsin, Barrigada from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. DPHSS will offer up to 150 COVID-19 tests on a first-come, first-served basis. Residents are reminded that this event is only a COVID-19 community testing. No vaccinations will be offered at this location. In line with Governor Lou Leon Guerrero's plan to reopen the island to tourism on May 1st, the VAPPC will consider expanding vaccination eligibility to tourism industry workers. Currently, the Guam Hotel and Restaurant Association, or GHRA, is conducting a count to determine how many individuals would need vaccines. These discussions were tabled to a later meeting pending GHRA's findings. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Tyler Matanani.
The Senate has confirmed New Mexico Representative Deb Haaland as the new Interior Secretary. She is the first Native American to become a cabinet member, and Democrats and tribal groups hailed her confirmation as historic. In a statement, Congressman Michael St. Nicholas said, quote, "As my fellow freshman in the 116th Congress and on the Natural Resources Committee, we have the privilege of knowing firsthand that Congresswoman, now Secretary Haaland, will serve the people and the nation with ability and dignity as our first Indigenous Secretary of the Interior," unquote. Governor Lou Leon Guerrero commented, quote, "We look forward to working with her to advance policies that will preserve and restore our land, increase outdoor recreational opportunities, and tackle the serious issue of climate change, policies that benefit Guam and our sister territories." Georgia Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene received a gift of Tomorrow Chip cookies delivered by Delegate Michael St. Nicholas and soldiers from the Guam National Guard currently on duty at the nation's capital. A recent viral video of the controversial congresswoman, in which she included Guam as an example of a foreign country that should not be receiving U.S. assistance, sparked ridicule and anger both locally and nationally. Congressman St. Nicholas delivered the cookies as part of his ongoing outreach to new members to introduce them to Guam. Guam Guard Adjutant General Esther Agiki not only thanked Congressman San Nicolas, but also Congresswoman Green for, quote, ultimately helping to raise awareness of Guamanians as American citizens and their rich tradition of service and sacrifice to the nation, unquote. Green was not in her office at the time, and San Nicolas said he had not heard back from her yet. Stick around for more news here on Primetime. You're watching KUAM.
It makes myself and it makes my team members very proud to work for an organization that has been on island for many years with its focus on reliability, dependability, and commitment to the communities that they operate in.
Matson's a great corporate citizen to the community.
We all benefit from any sort of environmental commitment we make. One of the ways that we do that is with our Adahi Utano program. There's action behind it, and so action breeds commitment.
With the Kaimana Hila coming to Guam, this brings a new age and modernization to the island.
It's exciting for me because it's a brand new ship and we can carry more freight into the islands. It just shows growth for Guam and Micronesia.
Matson would be nothing without its customers, and we hope to continue to serve you for decades to come.
Well, we've all been through a lot over the years.
Typhoons, earthquakes, and now COVID-19.
We've been able to get through these together.
For more than 80 years. Travelers Insurance has been protecting your homes, your businesses,
And the health of your family.
We are here today and we'll be here tomorrow.
There are better days ahead. Tomorrow's a new day filled with hope and choices.
The possibilities of what we can achieve together are limitless.
Let's continue to work together to ensure a brighter tomorrow for all of us.
Whether you use your truck for work or play, you can count on Ram trucks. Built to deliver today and built to deliver for many years to come. Here at Cars Plus, it is Ram Truck Month, where you can get the best deal on a new Ram 1500 starting at a new low price of $31,995. You can call us at 477-7807 or visit our website at carsplusguam.com to schedule your test drive today.
The well-intentioned friend. You can count on him to go get food. Gas, not so much.
Says he's sorry.
At least he's also a I brought a taco and burrito cravings pack friend. Only at Taco Bell.
KUAM News, winner of the 2020 Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence in Social Media.
Welcome back. Throughout the pandemic, the Guam Memorial Hospital has implemented strict measures to comply with COVID guidelines. But it looks like we could be seeing some changes to the visitation policy soon. Hospital Administrator Lillian Posadas.
One change that we added was the factor that, patients who are 75 years and older, we're definitely going to allow a family member to be with that patient in the hospital, just so that, the individual, whatever anxieties they have, whatever fears, they have a family support right in the room all the time. So that's what we're looking at.
According to Posadas, she's looking to finalize the draft of the policy changes. Another 2,403 EIP-2 checks totaling over $1.6 million has been processed. The Guam Department of Revenue and Taxation says that the EIP-2 was authorized by the COVID-related Tax Relief Act of 2020. Checks will be mailed out this week. To date, 75,047 EIP-2 checks totaling over $78 million have been processed. March 19, 2021 is the last date that EIP-2 payments will be made. Federal convicted felon Michael Kenneth Gimenez is facing 7 to 13 months back behind bars for violating his supervised release conditions. In 2008, Gimenez was sentenced to 7 years in prison, followed by 5 years of a supervised release term for conspiring with co-defendant Benjamin Charfrez to rob the Giant Panda store with a firearm. In court this morning, he admitted to failing to report to probation during the months of September and October of last year for drug testing and changed his address without notifying the probation office. He is scheduled to return back to court on April 20th. Port General Manager Roy Respicio signed the contract for the rehabilitation of Hotel Wharf and Roadway 11 and Highway Roadway reconstruction projects. The contract was awarded to GHD. The project is being funded through a $10 million federal grant along local port funds. The work includes reinforcing the old wharf and building a security fence, installing lighting, and constructing other surface work. The upgrades will bring Hotel Wharf into compliance with the U.S. Coast Guard criteria to regain certification as a designated waterfront facility and also expand wharf capacity to alleviate any congestion at the main cargo terminal. The Red Cross has become synonymous with disaster response, and despite the numerous setbacks and restrictions brought on by the pandemic, they still found a way to extend their helping hand. In a virtual proclamation signing declaring March as Red Cross Month, Chairman of the Red Cross of Guam, Marcos Fong, highlighted the organization's volunteers as the backbone of their operations.
Today's proclamation of Red Cross Month is a nod to the dedication and hard work of the Guam chapter's volunteers and staff. These individuals are the true professionals, and we could not ask for a more committed group of people who understand that the work they do every day touches a lot of lives.
On top of all their continued efforts in their day-to-day operations, the Red Cross held COVID-focused shelter management training and continues to supply village mayors, nonprofit organizations, and other GovGuam agencies to include the vaccination sites with pallets of drinking water. Coming up, Dave Delgado has a look at local sports. Keep it here. You're watching KUAM.
Your community calendar is brought to you by Taco Bell. Whether it's your first meal or your fourth meal, we've got you covered. Taco Bell, live Más.
We get it. Living to the fullest is tough during COVID-19. You don't need to do it alone, and everyone needs a hand right now. We are here. Feeling overwhelmed? Call 647-8833 and let's talk. Mangagihem is a project of Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center.
Try double filet sandwich for double the flavor. Just in time for Lent for a limited time. Served all day.
Guam is truly a majestic place with its sheer natural beauty, wealth of beaches, and culturally rich landscape. Unfortunately, Guam has a real problem with unwanted invasive species. Help us in preventing their introduction and spread. The coconut rhinoceros beetle, the little fire ant, the African snail, Siam weed. These are just a few of the numerous invasives on Guam. Follow proper custom procedures when bringing plants and animals into Guam.
Help protect Guam. Tell your family and friends about invasive species.
To report invasive species, call 475-PEST.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. On the show tonight, IIAG cross country from Two Lovers Point. But first off, an interview with UFC heavyweight fighter Roque Martinez. Check it out. UFC heavyweight fighter Roque Martinez is in training camp preparing for his third fight with the organization. Martinez is 0-2 in the octagon, with losses coming from Alexander Romanov via second-round submission and a decision loss to Dontel Mays.
For me, I look back and I think my last two UFC fights, I kind of went in there with, I would say, maybe a little bit too much respect for my opponents, and I felt like I played safe, man, and that's not how I fight my best. This one, I'm really looking forward to just going back to my old school style and just bringing out that real fighter. Just fight, man, and that's what I truly believe is, at the end of the day, it's just a fight. And I know these heavyweights in the UFC, these guys are they're monsters. All my opponents are big guys, but yeah, it's just gonna go back to just bringing that old school fight mentality and let my hands go.
Roque has 24 professional fights under his belt with the current record of 15-7-2. There's a lot riding on this fight, with the UFC making several cuts to their roster. His opponent this time around is a striker who might stand toe-to-toe with the champ and exchange punches.
So yeah, my opponent is Josh Parisian. He's a Contender Series winner. Is how he got his way into the UFC. His last fight, man, was a really good fight. I believe they had the fight of the night, and he also set the record for heavyweight strikes in a fight. So I think for me, man, this is a really good matchup because if he comes out and did what he did in his last fight, kind of plays into my game where I think I just need to go back to my brawling style and throw my hands, let my hands go. And I'm just really hoping he comes out and he's down to do that.
Roki has fought some well-known strikers in the game. He beat out kickboxing world champion Jerome LeBanner and lost via doctor stoppage to Mirko Krokop.
I think that's kind of what's helped me go as far as I have today is, my ability to take a punch. At the same time, I think now I'm a little bit smarter about that. I try and cover up more. But, man, I'm not one to shy away from it, Usually if I get hit a pretty good shot, it kind of turns me into that, bring that fight out style.
The Guam High Panthers boys and girls cross-country team stay unbeaten in this year's IIAAG cross-country season. Guam High finished 1-2 in the boys race. Joseph Schwartz crossed the line first overall at 19:37. Teammate Anthony Pelosma finished second overall with a time of 19:44. FD runner EJ Manabusin finished third at 19:50. Panthers Alex Rink finished fourth at 20:24. Friars Gavin Baker and Boss Shields finished fifth and sixth respectively. Guam High's girls crossed the line in first, second, and third. First place was Liliana Fennessy at 20:48. Second place was Molly Lang at 21:19. Samaya Wilbanks crossed the line third at 21:48. The next IIAAG meet will be held on Thursday when the Panthers take on the St. John's Knights. That's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
For the different beats of your life, we're here to keep you connected the way you want it. Plans made for you, by you. Build your own bundle with Link. Select the internet, entertainment, mobile, and home phone plans that fit your lifestyle. Pay for what you want, not for what you don't. Build your own bundle and save with Link.
Swim on in for Ruby Tuesday Seafood Sensations and enjoy your favorites from the sea in perfect time for Lent. Get hooked on lobster mac and cheese, the salmon loco moco, or the deep sea pasta. There's a bounty waiting for you on the RT Seafood Sensations menu at Ruby Tuesday Guam.
And before we close up the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shout-outs from Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club.
Happy birthday to Kieran Borja. Happy 8th birthday, dude. We hope you enjoy your day. We love you more than you'll ever know. Say mommy, daddy, and your sister, Kirida. Happy sweet 16 to Misha Santos, to the sweetest girl. We love you and are so proud of the young lady you're becoming. May your day and every day be blessed with much love from Grandma and the entire family. Alan Joseph Pinotia again. Happy birthday to you from daddy, mommy, brothers, and sister. Happy birthday number 9 to Jonica Pearl Jones. You are a beautiful angel. May you enjoy your special day with your family. We love you so very much. Say mommy, daddy, your brothers and sisters. Also, happy birthday to our little man, Ron Villacorda. Big hugs and kisses from Grandpa, Grandma, Mommy, Daddy, Sienna, Auntie, Uncle, and cousins. Also, happy birthday number 18 to Cassandra Nego. Happy birthday to my lovely daughter. Wishing you all the best on your birthday and throughout the years. Love always from your mom, dad, and your sisters, Cameron and Charmaine, and your nephew, baby Axel. And lastly, but certainly not least, happy 18th birthday to Christian Jacob Pinzon Quito. Happy 18th birthday, CJ. We love you from the 10-Pin family.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date. That's going to do it for us here on Prime Time. Thank you for watching. Have a good night and be safe.
Half a day, everybody. I'm Sabrina Salas Matanani, and welcome to your health, home, and lifestyle edition of KUAM News Extra. We start with health check and information about the University of Guam School of Health's Guam Micronesia Geriatrics Workforce Enhancement Program, or GWEP. Today, they launched their Dementia Awareness Conference series. I spoke with Dr. Margaret Hattori Achima about the conference.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Hi, Dr. Margaret. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you guys are having a busy week with the Dementia Awareness Conference series. Today, you guys wrapped up the introduction to dementia-related behavior. So if you could just talk about what we're going to be seeing this week with this virtual conference series.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks so much for the time, Sabrina. I really appreciate it. So as you know, there are a lot of families, healthcare providers that are having to work with people or live with people that have dementia. Some are diagnosed, some are not. And we're very well aware that there aren't enough resources and there's not enough education. And so what we wanted to do was start a 4-week conference series. So fortunately, these sessions will be going on for the next 4 weeks. And you're right, today we had the CARES dementia related behavior by one of our nurses, Veronica Olave. And then on Wednesday, Kathy Martin, a social worker, and myself will be talking about CARES dementia care for families. And this one is really targeted to people who have a loved one that may have dementia, or people who just want to learn about it, what the symptoms are, and how best to communicate with someone. And then on Thursday, we're very fortunate that we have a nurse, Melanie Bunn. She's a geriatric nurse practitioner from Duke University, and she's going to be talking about a positive approach to care and how to maintain your brain. Her topic is Maintain Your Brain, Dementia Risk Reduction, and Life After Diagnosis. So we're very excited because she works for an organization affiliated with Duke University, and they are very knowledgeable with the latest in dementia care. I'll be talking a lot about what the symptoms are, the difference between normal aging and dementia symptoms, and then also how to communicate and take care of our loved ones. And then the next week, we're also going to have a continuation of the dementia topics, where I'll be talking about specifically about memory loss on Thursday. And then the Wednesday session, I'll be talking again about how to live with dementia and some of the signs and symptoms, and again, how to communicate, how to really connect with our family members or loved ones that have dementia. So we're very excited about this. We are, Sabrina, we're also going to make sure that for most of the sessions, we're going to talk about, I'm going to have a small session at the end after it's such a heavy topic, right? We're going to talk about relaxation, or how to reduce your stress as a caregiver. So we're going to have things like facial yoga. We're going to do a really nice deep breathing session. We're going to have goodie bags for our families and our caregivers, which will even have some paints specially made. It's not paint, it's water, but these kits for recreation and social activities specifically for individuals with dementia. There'll be dementia puzzles. And like I said, it's paint, but it's really water. It's water, and and so we're going to have some social recreational activities for family members as well.
And so without, going through the whole presentation that you're going to be making, if you could just kind of sum up briefly the symptoms of dementia.
Well, that's really a great topic. Like, how do you know it's not just a sign of normal aging, right? Like you're young, so this doesn't happen to you, but we may be forgetful. We might forget an appointment. We might forget where, like, I put my keys, right? And those are signs of normal aging. And especially when we're super stressed, we've got too much going on. And of course, in light of the pandemic, we may become forgetful because we're overwhelmed. However, with dementia, you tend to see a progression, and then you may be forgetting more, not important things, but you have a pattern of forgetting more things more often. Like, you may forget your appointments more frequently. If you're working and you have a early onset dementia, for example, some people are actually reporting that they're forgetting meetings. They're forgetting how to do a task that was routine for them in their job. And so that, of course, can be very, very stressful. You may forget, even as it gets severe, you may forget how to get home. You might forget your address. You know, it might even get to the point where you forget what a common object is. In the more severe stages, you might give someone a hairbrush and they might not even be able to see that it's a hairbrush. They might try to use it as a toothbrush. And so we're going to go over all of those types of scenarios, and we're going to have an opportunity for people to ask questions as well.
So where do people go, I guess, to register for the seminars?
Okay, there's different, we've got the links for that. And yeah, that's a great question, because we have the links for each of them. Each of them has a different link, but then they can also email, us at, let me give you that email. It's uog.gwep@triton.uog.edu. So that's our email, and we can send people the link through that. We also do have a Facebook page. It's uog.gwep, GWEP is our Facebook page.
What was that again? UOG EDP?
UOG. Yeah, uog.gwep.
Okay, uog.gwep, GWEP. All right. And the seminar, so the next seminar is Wednesday, March 17th, 6 to 8 p.m. It says it's for the Micronesia community.
Right? Yes, Sabrina. So what we wanted to do, because sometimes our sessions can be very long. Can be very, we can have huge groups. And so we really wanted to have a space, a forum where we could have our Micronesian Islanders on Guam. And actually, we've even reached out to our partners in FSM, Palau, the Marshall Islands, to join, and even CNMI. But for our local residents, we wanted to be able to have them ask questions. We have Kathy Martin, who's a social worker, and she's Chuukese. She joined our grant project, the GWEP project, and so she's going to co-present with me, and that way we can try to make it more culturally relevant. You know, sometimes we have training programs and curricula that we take from the mainland, and sometimes it's not always translatable. Or easily, you know, the examples don't always easily fit with our island population. And so we're very fortunate to have Kathy Martin, who's a very experienced social worker and well-known in the FSM community. And so we're going to be sharing examples and providing them time to ask us questions.
Okay. Well, once again, Dr. Margaret, always a pleasure to talk with you. Really appreciate everything you've been doing and continue to do for our community. And we'll certainly send people over uog.gwep Facebook page for more information.
Thanks so much, Sabrina. Thank you.
Okay.
We appreciate it. Bye.
Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Stay tuned. Up next, Claire Calvo with Weekly Renewal.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Whether you use your truck for work or play, you can count on Ram trucks. Built to deliver today and built to deliver for many years to come. Here at Cars Plus, it is Ram Truck Month, where you can get the best deal on a new Ram 1500 starting at a new low price of $31,995. You can call us at 477-7807 or visit our website at carsplusguam.com to schedule your test drive today.
Welcome back. Here's Weekly Renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Hop a day. I'm Claire Calvo, bringing you your weekly renewal. We could all use a relaxing retreat or wellness adventure right about now. Something not too far, yet not too close to home, especially with our current travel limitations and restrictions. Holistic health wellness destinations have been the hot thing for a while now. And especially after this past year of heightened stress and anxiety, this is the perfect time to take advantage of our beautiful island surroundings and plan for not only a staycation, but a soulcation.
Main aspects of a wellness and yoga retreat is the renewal and rejuvenation of our mental, emotional, and physical bodies. After such a long period of social distancing, quarantine, and our overall lifestyle this past year, optimum care of our mental, emotional, physical, and physiological states is imperative. On March 27 to March 28, Saturday to Sunday, Conscious Living Soulcation will take place once again after a one-year break at the amazing Retidian Eco Beach Resort. This 2-day overnight glamping event will consist of 4 yoga classes, each with individual styles and different instructors, as well as sessions in meditation, mental and emotional wellness, conscious breath work, voice yoga, and holistic personal care. Fresh vegan meals and snacks will be provided by Fauna Cultures and Payless One. There will be certified massage therapists available as well. And since holistic wellness is our priority, we have taken great measures to assure the protection and safety of all participants by adhering to all preventative guidelines. We will have temperature check upon guests and facilitators' arrival and eco-friendly sanitizers available. We do request that each participant bring their own sanitizer and face mask. All yoga classes and wellness sessions will take place outdoors, literally on the beach, with adequate space and fresh ocean air. What can be more energizing and healing than full exposure to negative ions? In alignment with health and safety guidelines, we request participants to bring their own yoga mats, as well overnight necessities and sleep essentials, a towel, toiletries, comfortable clothes, and a reusable water bottle. We will, of course, provide tents for the glamping. This will be Conscious Living Synergy Studios' 9th yoga retreat since 2006 and the 5th retreat held at Retidian Eco Beach Resort over the past 2 years. We are excited and inspired each time we come together as a different dynamic of energies. Each and every person, whether facilitator or participant, adds uniquely and immensely to the whole. In 2006, we had a draft for a wellness resort that has yet to come to fruition. However, I still have our mission statement, which can be applied to each Soulcation retreat. It is our mission to co-create individual and communal wellness. Conscious Living Synergy Wellness Village serves as a place of healing through methods of release, renewal, balance, and revitalization. As a wellness destination, we provide guests a conducive environment with services, guidance, and support to maintain and for some to gain optimum health. Beyond the aesthetic services available at most spa relaxation retreats, it is our vision to bring forth wellness and beauty from the inside out by providing services in holistic health and wellness for mind, body, and soul. So in a coconut shell, this is what Soulcation is all about. For more information, please contact me, Claire Calvo, at clairecalvo@gmail.com or Facebook or Instagram, Claire Baza Calvo. Thank you so much. Dankaluna si Tuus Maasi. I will see you next time on your weekly renewal.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
Jason's next with Here's to Your Health.
Catch a wave of fish and seafood available throughout the Lenten season at King's Restaurant. The Lent menu has a tsunami of all your favorites like deep fried parrotfish, fried calamari, and the Lent sampler. All are sure to be a splash hit. It's the Lent menu at King's.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
MTO Maintenance will now completely sanitize your home, office, or business with state-of-the-art commercial sprayers. For over 30 years, MTO Maintenance has been committed to the health and safety of our customers. And now, more than ever, a clean home, office, carpets, and furniture is a necessity to our island. Give us a call today. Stay healthy and stay safe, Guam.
Call 647-6861 for an appointment.
Welcome back. Up next, Jason, and Here's to Your Health chatted with physical therapists at New Gen about their tips and advice for island seniors to live a healthy life.
Here's to Your Health is presented by American Medical Center.
When it comes to the members of our community who are older, and they come to you because they've got, certain types of afflictions, or, they're feeling discomfort or nagging pain and everything like that, what are some of the more common situations and conditions that you see and that you have to diagnose?
Right. So a lot of people come into me as they age, they might complain or have concerns about a lot of arthritic or osteoarthritis type pain, whether in the knees or in the back. And sometimes, people want that kind of fix with injections and things like that. But a lot of it's, for me, making that connection between how your diet affects the joints. If you have a very inflammatory diet, even looking at just your omega-3 to omega-6 profiles, if we tend to eat, when I alluded to before, is just your oils, that can even make the biggest difference. If you are eating higher omega-3s, such as olive oil, avocado oil, and a lot of salmon, versus processed vegetable oils or things that are in your cookies and things like that, those can be very inflammatory for the body and cause joint pain. So a lot of is education on how and making that connection. So don't underestimate, what we put in our body affects our joints and our chronic pain.
Mm-hmm. Well, again, using the automotive analogy and everything, you want to use the high grade fuel that allows your car to get the most life out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, we're really working this car angle, and deservedly so, guys. I love that analogy. It's helping me understand this. Guys, are you seeing, when it comes to the generation that came before us, is the current generation, with your help and with your advocacy of how to live a healthy life, are people as they age getting better at eating the right things and exercising and taking care of themselves than, say, people like my grandmother's generation, where it was just out of habit and, out of necessity that they ate, meat and rice 3 times a day?
I think it's actually getting a lot harder in this day and age to be healthy because of the environment we're in. We're exposed to so much processed foods and it's in our face all day long. So, and those foods are a lot of times designed to make us crave more and more. So, a lot of food scientists are designing foods to make us crave those kind of foods, and that can in turn make us a lot unhealthier. So I feel that is actually getting harder, and diabetes and heart disease was not even a big thing up until even about 50 years ago when our grandparents were growing up. So this is a relatively new kind of onset of a lot of chronic illnesses that are just popping up just more recently.
Here's to Your Health is presented by American Medical Center.
House to Home's next.
The Guam Developmental Disabilities Council. DD councils were established in the 1970s by the Federal Developmental Disabilities Assistance and Bill of Rights Act to advocate for change in service systems for people with developmental disabilities. There's a council in every U.S. state and territory. The council has 28 members from across the island appointed by the governor. Our members include people with developmental disabilities and their family members, as well as representatives of various government agencies and community organizations. The Council works to identify pressing needs in areas such as education, employment, and transportation, and develops a 5-year state plan to address those needs through advocacy, capacity building, and systems change activities. Some of those activities are carried out by our Council members and staff, while others are through collaboration with our Disability Network partners. Throughout the year, our Council participates in meetings, outreach fairs, trainings, conferences, forums, and community projects. Much of what we do involves educating the public about developmental disabilities and supporting and empowering individuals with developmental disabilities and their families to advocate for change in public policy, so individuals with developmental disabilities can have self-determination, independence, productivity, and be fully included in the community. For more information, contact our office at 735-9127.
The well-intentioned friend. You can count on him to go get food. Gas, not so much.
Says he's sorry.
At least he's also a I brought a taco and burrito cravings pack friend. Only at Taco Bell.
No waiting in line to see your doctor or to pick up your medication. From tips to living a healthier lifestyle, nutrition and fitness, to the latest wellness trends, stay healthy by checking in for your weekly dose of health news on Health Check every Tuesday on KUAM News Extra. Health Check is presented by Island Cancer Center.
Welcome back once again. Here's Jason.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Hafa everybody. Welcome to House to Home. I'm Jason Salas alongside Gina Campos and Liz Duenas at Remax Diamond Realty Guam. Ladies, Hafa.
Good morning.
Now I reached out to the two of you, and as I'm so want to do from time to time, I was like, hey, ladies, how are things going over there? And you were telling me, you're like, we actually have a shortage of inventory as far as properties. And my first reaction, I was like, congratulations, that's fantastic, question mark. And you were like, no, because there's a caveat. It's actually been this way for some time. And I was like, okay, that is not good. Gino, what are some of the market factors that have led to where you are right now? And can we actually say there is a housing shortage on Guam? Is that fair, or is that a little melodramatic?
No, that's absolutely fair. And that's exactly the situation. There is a housing shortage on Guam, and especially affordable housing. So anything I would say under $450, which sounds ridiculous. I don't remember ever in my life looking for a home in that price range.
That's like, the doctors and the lawyers and the brain surgeons and, and the admirals that are stationed on Guam. I mean, that's high-end inventory, right?
Yeah, you would have thought so before, but now that's under $450 is now considered affordable, because you can't find much else out there, especially like Liz, right? Under 300. I mean, even under 400,000, that price
difficult.
range is so competitive
right now.
Yeah,
that's right. So there's actually 227 houses showing on our multiple listing inventory. Of the 227, 102 are still active, which means there's a possibility you can submit offers for the 102 houses that are currently showing active, but there's 125 that are pending. So more than half of that inventory is already taken. So it makes it more difficult for a potential buyer, especially a first-time home buyer, to find inventory within their budget. So it's really difficult at this time, and it's really sad, but that is the current market conditions right now. And the prices have gone up. And as we were discussing, investors are paying, they're investing because they want military tenants more than likely, because that pays the higher rent and whatever they purchase. So if you're doing the appraisers going around and looking at the values would have gone up definitely. And he would be looking at properties that have sold. So as you said, the benchmark does go up in terms of values, and it's raising prices.
I never realized that. I guess it is an important distinction to make, that there's a difference between the people looking for a home to buy and that they would assumedly live in for a very, very long period of time because they need a place to stay and raise their family and all of that. And then the investment crowd, which is, I mean, they're taking it as a means of, this might be their side business, they fixer uppers, they may flip the property and everything like that. That's all wonderful. But because that the investment crowd is doing it, the baseline appraisal value of the average home goes up.
Well, the baseline for average for the investors, yes. But then if you were buying a home and you wanted to move, and the only thing that was available for you is 400, but you qualify for it, you would buy it. Your value that you just purchased has raised the benchmark. So if 350 was the average at one time, and now buyers are purchasing it higher, that has raised prices. And the appraisers look at that because there's nothing much out there. So if you bought something for 400, that raises the benchmark at that for your property and others as well.
And Gina, does this further create like a condition that you've said many times on the show? You're really worried because kind of like the middle class is kind of dropping out and everything's becoming so polarized now.
Yeah, so let me explain how these investors affect buyers that are looking to purchase and live in. So when we talk about investors, typically that investor, 80% of these investors are paying cash. Okay. Mm-hmm. And what we're noticing is because they're paying cash, when they are competing with you, me, our average buyers who are our ability to purchase is hinged on my ability to get that bank loan. And my ability to get that bank loan is hinged on the appraisal value. So it's the appraisal value or the purchase price, whichever is lower. So if I'm competing with you, Jason and Liz, and let's say I know the house is at 350, so I bid 375 because I qualify for it, and I really, really want the house, and I know it's a bidding war right now, so I'm willing to go 375, okay? Now it's contingent on that appraisal report, and then let's say Jose comes in and says, hey, I'm an investor. And he throws his offer on the table. But let's say he says, I'll pay 375, but now I'm paying cash. If the seller knows that the market value of that home is probably under 375, but the values have inched up that high just because of the demand, he's not going to look at my offer. He's going to say, forget that. Let me take the investor who's paying 375. Right. Now, why would an investor do that? Why would an investor pay more than what the market is worth? Because if they park that money into the rental property, they're going to get a lot more per month rent than they would if they left that money in the bank and collected 0.001% of nothing, right? Mm-hmm. And then the other,
it's the lesser of the risks.
Well, it's not even the lesser. They're getting much
the smarter
more
decision.
More money.
Yeah, the strategy is I'm getting my rent per month is a higher return. So I'm going to park it in. I'm going to park it in that real estate. So, and that's how you have to look at the market. If your investors are paying more than what the appraisal values are at, then that tells you the demand in the market is really high. You're in an awful situation. And we've been advocating that, gosh, if I were in government service, I would sit down with the players that could really make a difference and say, hey guys, we have a situation with our people here. Can we create some kind of public partner solution to this? Because I mean, what's causing this? Absolutely no labor. I mean, there's no labor. They're out there, but you can't hire somebody. And if you do, you're going to have to wait a while. The cost of material is ridiculous right now. Mm-hmm. Concrete, rebar, everything, you name it, it's ridiculous. So labor and material, that's already half of what's going on, right? And then the other thing is getting your permits. Jace, I can't even tell you how difficult it is right now to process and get your building plans, get your maps, and all of this comes together
And you've
create
mentioned that
re-
before. There's a bureaucracy and there's a logistic pipeline, if you will, of things you have to go through that makes it incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
And by that merit, Liz, am I correct in assuming now that because there's a lot of these processes that have been created by people or by organizations, and then the thing with the appraisal value going up, because of these processes, I hate to blame everything on the pandemic, but because of those, does this mean that the market won't self-correct as the economy continues to get better?
Well, our issue right now is not an issue, it's a plus, that the buildup is coming. It's already in progress. So in terms of pricing, there's going to be a bigger demand, but we have shortage of inventory. So for the local buyers, one of the things that we're talking to some of them about is looking at the possibilities of buying land and building. But as Gina put it, prices are going up. So if you're looking at building, you've got to scramble and get something done. I'm building, Gina's building right now as well, and I'm building one in Barrigada. She's building one in Pago Bay. And the headaches associated with it, in terms of the timelines, luckily my stage, they're starting to lay the groundwork and start laying the fence and the walls for the building. But our biggest concern, at least we have the wherewithal to go around to work with that. But the regular consumer, the regular Mr. Cruz out there or Mrs. Cruz who want to build a home, if they can't find the inventory, they're going to have to buy land, get a contractor. And just bear in mind, if you get a contractor, unless they have set plans, which makes it a lot easier, then they can start the permitting process. They've got the building plans and everything, and they could move a little quicker. But the prices are going up. So Gina, I think it's what is it now per square foot to build? It was 120, 130. Now it's about 150 and maybe even higher, 175 for a regular, a standard sized home of maybe 12 to 1,500 square feet. So it's a big concern, and I'm working with buyers, so is Gina. And one kind of gave up yesterday because whatever they found either had setback issues, encroachment issues, probate, so they couldn't move quickly. They're already pre-qualified, but finding it within a budget that they can afford. And, they're pre-approved like in the 400 price range. But they wanted to spend within the threes, and it's hard to find something right now. And the ones that they found, guess what? There's one we were supposed to see today. They had appointments every 30 minutes. So you can imagine how many people were slated to go see that one property.
Well, Gina, let me give you the last word. We literally have 20 seconds. So let me give you the last word.
It's discouraging, Jason. And you mentioned the word self-correct. The thing is, the industry cannot self-correct because of a couple of factors. Number one, there's imposed regulations by the government. The government continues not to operate on full force, the hours are not there. So it's going to be hard to self-correct if the public and the government sector does not come together to help correct the situation that we are all in. It's going to take a joint effort. It's going to take people talking to each other to correct it.
All right, well, that's the word. Ladies, thank you so much for your insight. Again, a fascinating topic, I must say. I didn't even realize that it's gotten to the level it has. Hopefully we will be able to do something to, if the market doesn't self-correct, maybe we can give it a little nudge. We would hope. All right, thanks for watching, everybody.
And that's our show. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please stay safe.